This is Jaguars Happy Hour. Jaguars Happy Hour is brought to you by Heritage of North Florida. And now, performing portions of today's program without a wristband, J.P. Shadrick.
Welcome in. It is Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and remodeling company, and a busy 2 hours ahead on this Thursday, November 20th, Week 12. The Jaguars and the Cardinals coming up from State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. We'll get to the Jaguars' offensive identity showing up in last week's game, the win over the Chargers, and the sustainability of the Jaguars' defense. If it is, we'll find out from Coach Mark Duffner here in studio with us. Jags HQ at 5 o'clock on the Jaguars Radio Network. James Gladstone, Tony Boselli expected to join us then, so stick with us. Going to be a busy 2 hours ahead here on 1010XL, 92.5 FM, Jaguars.com, and Jaguars YouTube. JP Shadrick with Jaguars analyst Jeff Lageman. Hi, Jeff. What's up?
Hey, JP. How you doing?
Well, thank you. Former Jags linebackers coach Mark Duffner in studio with us as always each and every Thursday. Hey, Coach.
Hey, how we doing, JP?
Oh, we are fine. The Jags are fine, too, by the way.
You aren't kidding. They are fine. Jacksonville is fine. I mean, as far as everybody in this area right now, what a game.
6-4 record, 7 seed currently in the AFC playoff race. But most notably, I mean, it's the most complete game of the season in the win over the Chargers last week. Offense, defense, what special teams they had. They played well.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't minimize special teams. Come on, man. I mean, the first 3 kickoffs that they had were all inside the 25.
Right. There you go.
Okay, so, I mean, that is impactful. I mean, making all the extra points, that's impactful. Logan Cook may not have had a busy day as a punter, but the one thing that he had an outstanding day as a holder. Snaps were a little bit, around a little bit, so congratulations to Logan. He handled that. So, yeah, don't minimize special teams.
That's on me. That's my
special
bad,
teams
Coach.
hater.
How about that? Let's get to some of the offensive play, though, in this game. And it started, I mean, going into the week, the Jags had 5 offensive linemen on the injury report. They had the right tackle out of the game. And they put in a performance like that, 42 carries by backs in the game, I think another 7 by the quarterback and scrambles, and they ran for nearly 200 yards. I mean, they're blocking guys 10, 15 yards down the field.
JP, I don't know that I've ever seen a more dominant performance as a football team. And when you talk about the offense, talk about winning the line of scrimmage, which was a challenge for them to do. Shoot, it's unbelievable. 30 first downs to 8 is just, you just mentioned 192 yards rushing. I mean, no sacks. I think they gave up from a team that had about 29 sacks coming in. I mean, just a tremendous – they personified the identity of this team. Run, physical, and tough throughout the game. Started it and finished it that way.
It was impressive. And, the Jaguar running backs, 42 carries, 183 yards. Oof. That's getting it done. And, I thought in the early part of the game, I thought that they took the heart away of the Chargers. And then on the very last drive that the Jaguars had the ball with LaQuinn Allen Jr., they literally buried him. I mean, that's just, physical domination. The Chargers came into that game number 1 in the National Football League with time of possession, one of the more physical teams. That's the way Harbaugh approaches it. And, oh, boy, the Jaguars showed them what being physical is all about. They dominated the time of possession. It was like 38 minutes.
Yeah, they held it for 13 minutes in the third quarter.
Crazy.
The lowest time of possession for the Chargers all year.
And not even close, probably.
They beat them at their own game.
Sure. Here's the best part. Oh, well, you're great. You guys are awesome. Congratulations. Good job. Now you got to go Arizona and play them without the kind of motivating factor that you just had in the Houston Texans game. And, let's see where they're at.
And we'll get to that coming up and see what this Jaguars coaching staff and what the leadership of this football team can do moving ahead going to Arizona. Other side of things, though, last week, Coach, the defense. 2 field goals allowed. They got home to the quarterback, and obviously they're going to stop the run. They're very good at that. That kind of led to getting to the quarterback, but they didn't have to blitz a lot. What was different about the defense?
I just think they took the challenge that the coaches gave to them all week long about we've got to affect the quarterback and put it into motion as good as anybody could. I mean, 81, I think it was about 81 yards that Herbert had in the game. I mean, I think they gave up 93 yards passing overall. I mean, the run defense continues. They're second in the league right now in terms of about 86 yards a game, but really hammered that run game. I think they had about 40 yards rushing for about 2.6. You talk about a dominant defensive performance, too. Like I said, back-to-back, and as Jeff mentioned about the special teams, I don't know that I've ever seen a team have that much of a dominant performance for 60 minutes. The offense came out and controlled the clock, and also both sides of the ball won the early downs. I mean, you look at the stats.
That right there that you said, that was big.
Critical.
Huge for the defense anyway.
Yeah, and for both of them. I mean, you got into manageable downs for the offense. You got into true, let's go get them on defense as far as that's concerned, because they won first and second down. I mean, it was a fun thing. And by the way, fixed the penalty situation pretty well, too.
Yeah, only one.
Which is a big battle in having success on first and second down. I mean, that's always kind of been a problem for the offense this year, kind of the setbacks. And you didn't have any of the setbacks. I don't know if the wristband by Trevor Lawrence was the difference or not.
It sounded like it helped the pre-snap order of operations.
The reality is that don't change it when you've had success, and I expect him to be wearing that wristband for the rest of his life.
Well, I'm second on that one. I'm second on that. Just a dominant performance. The O-line, no sacks. Like I said, maybe 7 pressures. Again, like I said, against a team that had been after the quarterback, averaging over 5 yards a carry at the half. Shoot.
And
tremendous.
One more defensive thought. The Jaguars secondary was depleted going into the game. I mean, they had 4 guys they were counting on to fix the secondary they brought in the offseason that weren't available for the game. 2 are out for the season, the other 2 out for at least a couple more weeks. And then you lose Newsome in the game, and you're digging deep in the secondary here, Logs, and those guys played pretty well in the back end.
I mean, Christian Braswell had to play more because of that injury. You were already, again, like you said, out a few guys, but they played up. They simplified things as a defense. I thought overall, and I think that was twofold. One, that they wanted to be more simple, so that they could play faster. But I think that's also what was needed based upon Justin Herbert, a quarterback that can make you pay if you play a lot of man and you blitz because of his escapability, and then he's obviously the amount of yardage that he gained on the ground, leading quarterback in the NFL in rushing. So I think that really worked, and I think that is the challenge for them moving forward, is that you got to strike a balance of being simplified, but at the same token complicated enough to make it hard on your opponent.
PRI Productions, the official event production company of the Jags, has everything you need to bring your next idea to life. Visit PRIProductions.com. This is Jaguars Happy Hour on 1010XL, 92.5 FM, Jaguars.com, and Jaguars YouTube. Mark Duffner with us, Jeff Lageman. I'm JP Shadrick. We take a look now at the Jaguars-Cardinals matchup. And let's touch on this point that you guys briefly mentioned a moment ago. Yeah, they got off the deck against Houston. All the motivation in the world after the fourth quarter collapse on the road. They come back home for their only home game in nearly 2 months, in a span of 2 months, and put together their best performance. Now what? What is the motivating factor? Or as a pro, do you need one? I mean, at some point you got to go play football. How do they maintain that edge moving ahead?
Well, I think now the challenge is consistency. And I think that, as Jeff kind of alluded to, I think the coaching staff challenged themselves and the players last week with the game plan they implemented for the game that they just played and against the Chargers. And I think that'll be continuation of that. Can you take the focus away where the week before people were telling them, well, after the Houston collapse, you're blankety blank, you're no good, you're this or that. And now people tell them that they're this and that in terms of you're great. Focusing on, again, we just demonstrated for 60 minutes who we are. That's not words, that's actions. And the challenge will be, can you do it consistently? Can you do it again? And it comes back again to it's all about us. It's what we do, not so much that opponent.
I think I would kind of maybe disagree a little bit with Duff. It's not who you are unless you prove it week in and week out. And I think that's probably what the coach is challenging his football team with is, look.
Oh, yeah, you did it once.
Okay, you played here last week, okay, and then the weeks prior we weren't there. So what are we going to be? Are we going to be this team that's up and down, or are we going to be where we were against that Chargers football team? And it doesn't have to be to where you keep them to 130 yards total offense and 50 yards rushing or anything of that nature. It doesn't have to be like that. But you want to have the same dialed-in energy, the same attention to detail, the same focus, because if you can have that, okay, then that's who you are. If you can do it again and again and again.
Let's take a look at this Arizona Cardinals team. It is a beat-up football team. They have a 3-7 record. They've got a really long injury list. Of course, I mean, like 4 of the 7 captains are on IR. Some of those guys for the season. They've got, let's start on the offense, the offensive line injuries, the quarterback's out, wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr., an appendix issue, so he was out last week, probably again this week, an assortment of running backs. So when it gets that difficult, where do you hang your hat offensively if you're the Arizona Cardinals right now?
Well, again, I would suggest that they identify what Brissett can do. And by the way, he can throw it all over the field. He's doing that at a record clip right now, 250-plus yards in his 5 starts. But, again, I would try to determine what are our best plays, what can we do best, because we know we're going to be down a little bit. They've already mentioned that DeMarcado, the running back's out, that Harrison's out. So the offense is going to go through Brissett and his play. It's going to go through Wilson, who's spiked up big time, the wide receiver, who's had tremendous ball games. And then, of course, a guy that may be the best tight end yet. And we played some good ones, but this McBride right now, who's 71 receptions, I think, are tied for the league lead. So, they got to identify what they can do it well, not to try to do too much and be as error-free as they can.
If I'm the Cardinals, I'm coming out throwing the ball all over the yard.
Yeah.
Why not? Let it rip, right?
I'm going to come out throwing.
Yeah.
I mean, and, look, I think the defense gave up like 85 points in the last 2 games,
yes.
And that's one of the reasons why you have some inflated passing numbers for Jacoby Brissett. But the reality is, in his last 5 starts, if you go back and look at even the win against Dallas and some of the other ones, he's averaging 314 a game, which is the highest number per game average-wise in the league over those last 5 games.
And he doesn't turn it over a lot either.
No, he's very safe with the ball. He's actually doing a really good job. So the reality is, though, is that they're banged up in the running back room. They got a little bit of an issue with Marvin Harrison Jr. out as well. But as Duff said, they've got arguably one of the best tight ends in the league. That's going to be a huge challenge stopping him, especially when he's going to get probably 15 or more targets in the ballgame, at least. 15 or more. And, the Jaguars have shown prior to this past game, susceptible on 3rd down, not a consistent pass rush. So, look, if you're kind of trying to predict what they're going to do, I think they're going to come out throwing the ball all over the yard.
Yeah, I would second that. And as you mentioned about the guy not turning the ball over, Brissett's, I think he went 168 passes in a row where he didn't have an interception. He's had, I think, 2 so far this season, and one of those was in a 2-minute drill. So a guy that's doing a pretty good job distributing the ball, has some big playability, a good veteran guy. You're not going to fool this guy. He's seen a lot. So I think it's going to be our ability to execute, to affect this quarterback, get him off the spot, get him off track, and then to defend and be concerned about 2 of the guys, and this Wilson at wide receiver, and then again Trey McBride, Mike at the tight end position.
Yeah, here's the question, because obviously Brock Bowers did his thing against the Jaguars, the tight end for the Raiders. I mean, the list can go on and on if you want to, how many years you want to go back. We're not going to do that today. But as a defensive coordinator, as a schemer, Duff, what do you do to slow down Trey McBride, the tight end, and at least limit his output?
Well, I think you got to start by, like I always try to say, we got to get in this guy's head and get it in early. We got to beat him up at the line of scrimmage. We got to reroute him. We got to chuck him. We got to try to distort his ability to get free releases, and then you've got to be prepared to double a guy. And right now they've got 2 guys that are I'm saying they don't have more, but 2 guys that are pretty strong in terms of affecting our defense in terms of their receiving core, Michael Wilson and McBride, as we mentioned. So you got to clearly be aware of them. But I think being as physical as we can with this guy within the rules is going to be important, and he's going to get some catches. This guy's caught against everybody, just like Jeff talked about. He's going to get plenty of targets, and he's a darn good receiver. So we got to eliminate explosive plays from these two guys. Tackle the catch if they get thrown to, and live to play another down.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, look, Marvin Harrison Jr. down is big for them.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like they have 4 guys at wide receiver that can all step in and play well. I mean, look, Michael Wilson nearly doubled his receiving yardage total in the one game that he played this past week, where he had 185 yards, which I believe is the NFL single game high for a wide receiver this year. So I don't want to say that that's out of the norm for him, but it is. So who else can step up? I don't know. But if I'm the DC, if I'm Campanelli, I'm going to make sure that I find plenty of attention on Trey McBride. Yeah, he's that good of a player, and that's kind of the comfort blanket or whatever you want to call it for Jacoby Brissett. That's the one guy that you can tell that he leans on all the time. Leans on when he gets in trouble, when there's a critical down. That's who he's looking at. So you better find a way to put the extra attention on him. Dead on, because there is a true chemistry between McBride and Brissett when you watch the tapes. There's no doubt.
I'd have chemistry with him too if I was quarterback.
No, I would too.
Yeah, you'd be a good player.
It wouldn't be organic chemistry either. Yeah, I'm with you.
Back in a moment, we'll flip it around. We'll take a look at this Cardinals defense. They've got some veteran players, including one that you know and love. We'll take a look at Calais Campbell and what he's done this year when we come back. 1010XL, 92.5 FM, Jaguars.com, and Jaguars YouTube. This is Jaguars Happy Hour.
This is Jaguar Hall of Famer Tony Boselli telling you about Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and home remodeling company. With over 25 years of trusted experience, Heritage of North Florida has built a reputation for quality, reliability, and craftsmanship. Whether you need a new roof or updating your kitchen or bathroom, trust the pros at Heritage of North Florida to create the perfect place to call home. Mention Jaguars to get $1,500 off your next roof or kitchen remodel when you go to heritagenfl.com. Go Jags.
Black Friday is here, and your local Ford dealer is kicking off the holiday season with great offers. Now's the time to take home the legendary Ford F-150, the truck at the top of everyone's list, or Ford Expedition, an SUV with room for all your passengers and presents. And if you're ready for big holiday thrills, unwrap the Built Wild Bronco SUV. Start your holidays in a new Ford. The Black Friday sales event ends December 1st. See your local Ford dealer today.
It's game time, Jaguars fans. This season, feed your fandom with the Jaguars sub from Publix, the official supermarket of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow. Sink your teeth into crispy chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, melted cheddar, sweet coleslaw, and smoky barbecue mayo, all stacked on a fresh white roll. Taste the hype only at Jacksonville Publix locations. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Hey, I'm Logan Cook, punter for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Driving distracted or stolen is dangerous for you, and it's dangerous for everyone on the road around you. Ride with Do Not Disturb. That call, text, or social media message can wait. Choose your music before you turn on the ignition. Anytime your eyes are not on the road ahead, you're distracted, so pay attention. But remember, drive high equals DUI. Plan ahead, have a designated driver, keep a clear head to see clear ahead, and let's get everyone home safely.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with EverBank. Open an EverBank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. EverBank, advantage you. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's here that a tiny newborn has the heart surgery needed to save her life. It's here that a first grader learns to speak clearly and confidently. It's here that a 12-year-old athlete builds the strength to run full speed again. It's here at Wolfson Children's Hospital that answers are found, courage is shown, and odds are beaten every day. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsandchildrens.com.
One of our game records this morning in both defense and in special teams for the career block, extra points and field goals. So, but he is playing at a very high level. He utilizes that swim move at 6'8", and that can be hard on guards and interior offensive linemen, and then his strain through the down in terms of in the known passing situations, but also where he's extremely effective is batting balls down as well. So if he doesn't get maybe an edge in the rush, well, he's going to stop, and that's a brick wall there, So we've got to really make sure we're accounting for him, knowing his strengths, and be able to attack some of the weaknesses there and get his hands down, especially in the pass game.
Liam Cohen, Jaguars head coach, earlier this week discussing Cardinals defensive tackle Calais Campbell, former Jaguar. Welcome back. It is Jaguars Happy Hour, and coming up on December 7th, the Jaguars return to the bank for a massive division showdown against the Indianapolis Colts. It's more than a game. It's a statement. The Jags back home, and they'll turn up the heat in the iconic Prowler throwbacks. Kickoff is still 1 o'clock today. There was a flex today, but it's not a CBS doubleheader. It was a Fox doubleheader. They did flex a Fox game. Jaguars are at 1 o'clock. Get your seats now at jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. And they're not gonna take the Chiefs off primetime either.
Well, thank goodness. I don't. I like 1 o'clock games. Yeah. What's good for me is good for me, to use Pete Prisco's line.
He taught you well, I suppose. Let's get into this Cardinals defense now. And they've given up logs, as you talked about, over 40 points the last 2 weeks, 85 points in that span. And the only team to do that in the NFL this year. So they're giving it up right now. But they've got some veteran players stuff. And let's start with Campbell. it's year 18. He's a freak of nature anyway. At 6'8", 300, whatever, right around 300 pounds. But his length is just, he's still playing. It's probably going to be his last year. Is he still as effective?
Why?
He said it already.
Yeah. Well, if he did, I'd be surprised. I'm with Jeff. I don't see it. I don't see any.
Don't believe it.
Really?
I don't
see any decline in his game. This guy is a game wrecker. And his coach just talked about him. He's a game wrecker in terms of what he does in the run and what he does in the passing game. 5 sacks already this year, batting passes, and incidentally, he's a game wrecker in special teams too. He's blocking kicks. He, unfortunately, in the recent game, he got on the center a little bit, and they got a penalty on him. But he blocked that field goal try. So this cat is, I love the guy as a player, and I know he's beloved in this area. But he is a factor for sure. And you got to be looking out for jersey number 93.
Yeah, he's probably one of the greatest free agent acquisitions in Jaguars history.
Yeah.
Not only as a player, but as just the person. Just high-quality guy.
Could you imagine if
things the right way?
If he was cast the right way early in his career in Arizona, what kind of numbers he would have put up? At least in terms of numbers,
Well, yes, and then also look, the Arizona Cardinals have been kind of NFL purgatory. You go there to get lost and forgotten about, and he's clearly a Hall of Famer, but will the play time with the Arizona Cardinals impact that? I don't know, but he is one of the greatest guys that I've ever had the opportunity to meet, in Jaguars history. I put him up there with Darrell Smith, Mercedes Lewis, all the great ones that ever walked through these doors. And on top of that, he is one of the oldest players in NFL history. He's right up there with Jackie Slater, Mercedes Lewis, Bruce Matthews, Clay Matthews. All the guys that have played the game forever. And Duff, there's just not many guys that physically can be a warrior for 18, 19, 20 years. It's just not very common.
No, it's actually incredible what he's accomplished. And when you put the tape on and you watch the guy, he captures your eye immediately right now. He is still a guy that you have to be concerned with in the run game, the pass game, and I'm sure the leadership that he's providing, the wisdom he's providing for that team is priceless. So, I think, again, terrific player, terrific guy.
Some numbers on him. 115 and a half career sacks, 18 forced fumbles, 13 fumble recoveries, 64 passes defensed. NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner.
Huge.
For the Jaguars, I think 31 and a half sacks he had in a 3-year period, and he was a Pro Bowler every year.
Yeah, what a great pickup on and off the field for this club. I'm just a fan. I was gone when he came here, but being a resident here and checking back in on the Jags and seeing what this guy did in the community all those years too. I mean, just like Jeff said, a real productive guy.
We saw obviously in the 2017 team and all that, everything that happened with that defense, but. Remember last year he was with the Dolphins. Week 1, the Jaguars are in Miami. 2.5 hours before the game, Calais Campbell's in handcuffs outside in the street with Tyreek Hill. Mm-hmm. And then the first 2 plays of the game, Calais has a sack and a tackle for loss. Mm-hmm. Amazing.
Yeah, no surprise to me. No, when you follow this guy and you've studied him and tried to beat him and coach against him, no surprise. This guy is a hell of a player.
There's some other guys on this defense, too. We're not leaving everybody else out. And
Budda Baker's the guy.
He's been around for a long time.
He's probably the best player that they have on defense. And I'm going to be honest here. I don't think they're a very good defense. I don't. I don't think they have a whole lot of other talent besides Calais and then Budda Baker, and I think Josh Sweat's a really good player.
What sacks?
The rookie tackle Nolan's a good player, but I mean, once you kind of get past that little group right there, I mean, it's just kind of
Yeah, it's a little bit lean, and when you got your safety, Budda's their leading tackler. Their other safety, I think it's Thompson right now. He's also in Thompson.
He's soft.
Yeah, but he's going to product. He's made some tackles.
Yeah,
he's
when
soft. When he's your safety,
you should see how he makes the tackles.
Well, I did watch it.
I was watching him make that tackle past week.
Kind of
he was turning sideways.
He's a little bit, that's right. But when you've got safeties making tackles, you know that's kind of indicative of a leaky defense. So that's for darn sure. I wanted to say one other quick thing about their offense. They are the number 1 team in the league on 3rd and 10 plus in terms of success. So you can see they're getting them into long yardage, which we got to do, but they have been number 1 in the league with a success ratio of about 33%. So that's a concern. And the other thing we want this team to have a problem with, was something they got infected with in their last game, is penalties. They had 17 penalties for tremendous numbers, something we know a little something about, but got corrected. So we hope that virus has gone to Arizona. It was called penalties.
Think about this. The Cardinals have been around forever in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
It's the franchise worst penalty mark. The previous mark was 16 in 1936 at Green Bay when the team was in Chicago.
Yeah,
that's how long ago that was.
And I think that Curly Lambeau was the coach for the Packers. I think I read. So, yeah, I'm with you on that.
I think it's going to be kind of interesting, too. I mean, look, they've been kind of struggling, and go back a couple weeks ago, and their head coach, what's his name, for the Cardinals?
Gannon.
Yep.
Gannon. Got the sideline thing that he kind of had going on where player made a kind of a boneheaded decision, and then the coach kind of is punching one of his players kind of in the chest on all that, and it blew up. I mean, it was kind of a national topic there for a while, and he was Gannon was defending himself and apologizing, all that kind of stuff, and it'll be interesting to see how this team fights after 2 losses where they've given up a lot of points to a coach who had a little bit of a controversy earlier in the year. I'd be real curious to see how they do respond.
Well, you know what? Go put them out of their misery. Nobody's crying for them.
I'm all for it, JP.
We got to go win.
Yeah, we got to rip that scab off and let it bleed, baby, because that's exactly what the objective for us will be. Yep, no question.
Duff, how about some keys to a Jaguars victory? Week 12, go into the desert to face the Cardinals. Been a while since the Jaguars have defeated the Cardinals, but that's in the past. The future is straight ahead. What do you got for Sunday?
Well, I like what Jeff said earlier. The challenge is going to be, can we be consistent? Can we demonstrate to everybody with our play what they did against the Chargers this past week? And that means ball control offense. That means starting fast. That means scoring when we get opportunities to do that. And then on defense, again, winning the first and second down, getting the manageable downs, affecting the quarterback, and then trying to continue the takeaway barrage that we've got. We're still second in the league in takeaways. So that's what, I would focus in on. Can we be the consistent, dominant team, win the line of scrimmage that they did last week for 60 minutes and do that against Arizona?
Sounds like a plan, Duff.
Yeah, I didn't notice my good friend here saying I was more like Coach Coughlin. I tried to cut that still down.
I thought you kind of got a little lean this week, Duff.
Are you running out of stuff? Or what?
Well, no, I can't take coaching here, Yeah.
Duff, no show on Thanksgiving next week, so have a great holiday, and I hope you and the family are well.
What's your best dish?
Same
Favorite
to you.
dish?
Well, I
Duff?
have to go with the stuffing. I do like the turkey, and I bet you can cook a hell of a turkey. I would think you're well known for that, but I would say the stuffing. But happy Thanksgiving to you guys and to all our fans.
Appreciate you. Coach Mark Duffner with us each and every Thursday here on Jaguars Happy Hour. And from the backyard to the beaches, the Ford F-150 with available Pro Power on board gives you the power of a mobile generator. Ford, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. See your local Ford dealer today on 1010XL, 92.5 FM, Jaguars.com, and Jaguars YouTube. This is Jaguars Happy Hour.
This is Jaguar Hall of Famer Tony Boselli telling you about Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and home remodeling company. With over 25 years of trusted experience, Heritage of North Florida has built a reputation for quality, reliability, and craftsmanship. Whether you need a new roof or updating your kitchen or bathroom, trust the pros at Heritage of North Florida to create the perfect place to call home. Mention Jaguars to get $1,500 off your next roof or kitchen remodel when you go to heritagenfl.com. Go Jags.
Watch the game, host your crew, or just unwind at BC Grill and Patio at Sheridan Jacksonville, part of the Marriott family of hotels. Enjoy craft cocktails, tasty bites, and indoor-outdoor seating perfect for watch parties, happy hours, and events. Mention this radio ad for 10% off food and drinks. Visit SheridanJacksonville.com or call 904-564-4772.
It's almost basketball season. North Florida basketball is right around the corner. Secure your seats inside UNF Arena for both men's and women's basketball for less than $20 a game. Visit UNFospreys.com/buy tickets now or call 904-620-BIRD today. Again, North Florida basketball is almost here. Secure your seats inside UNF Arena for both men's and women's basketball for less than $20 a game. Visit UNFospreys.com/buy tickets now or call 904-620-BIRD today. Swoop.
Is your organization ready to tackle its toughest challenges? For 3 decades, CSI Companies, based in Jacksonville, has been the trusted workforce partner for leading healthcare and technology providers nationwide. Whether finding the right talent for a specific job, advising on a strategic project, or offering seamless managed services, they tailor every solution to fit your needs. CSI brings trusted expertise and a people-first approach to your organization. Get the job done right. Together, we go further. Learn more at CSICompanies.com.
Are you ready to love how you feel, look, and live in every season? At Elace, we offer more than just luxury med spa treatments. We provide a serene, judgment-free space where you can reconnect with the best version of you. Whether you want to refresh your natural look with Botox or Dysport, pamper yourself with a relaxing hydrofacial, or rejuvenate your complexion with laser resurfacing, our expert team in Jacksonville is here to tailor treatments to your needs. Visit Elace.com today and start your journey to loving yourself.
It's game on, Jaguars fans, no matter where you might be. From the backyard to the beaches, the Ford F-150 with available Pro Power on board gives you the power of a mobile generator. So as long as you've got a TV and a signal, you don't have to miss another game. Just one more reason why Ford F-Series has been the best-selling truck in America 48 straight years and counting. Ford, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. See your local Ford dealer today.
A lot of respect for Trey. He's extremely versatile, similar in a lot of ways to Brock that way. And, look, you've got to have eyes on him and understand where he is in the formation at all times in terms of, okay, is he attached? Is he in the hip? Is he in the slot? Is he at one? Obviously building a plan around, stopping guys like that is mixing up looks, right? Is trying to give different looks and present them and make sure that maybe you have some areas in the red area, whatever it is, to double them or take away their best player. That's some things that we're looking at.
Head coach Liam Cohen earlier this week on Cardinals tight end Trey McBride. Welcome back. It is Jaguars Happy Hour on 1010XL, 92.5 FM, Jaguars.com, and Jaguars YouTube. McBride leads all NFL tight ends with 71 catches, just over 700 yards receiving, and 7 receiving touchdowns. He's the second most targeted receiver of any kind in the NFL, trailing only Jamar Chase. JP Shadrick, Jeff Lageman. Our thanks to Coach Mark Duffner, as always, for joining us each and every Thursday. Our thanks also to Kainani Stevens for joining us each and every Thursday. Hi, Kai.
Hello. Thank you for having me, as always.
Great to be here. After a win, certainly. Jags now 6-4. And you know what? What a difference a week makes after the collapse in Houston.
Yes.
The best complete game of the year.
Feels good, feels positive. I heard you say on Happy Hour how we get way more questions when we're playing well, or bad, I guess. We get a lot of questions for that, too. But it is nice to be talking about good things, and I think we're all pleasantly surprised with how dominant they could be against the Chargers last week. I mean, we hadn't seen them play a clean football game. You know, one accepted penalty, I think it was, and that's what really stood out to me when I looked back at it, because, I mean, as it was going on, I was like, oh, the offense is in a rhythm. We haven't been getting, the delay of game or the illegal shift penalties that kind of have been hampering them and slowing them down. So you could feel the flow of the game was different. And when looking back at it, I was like, oh, yeah, there's only really one penalty or something like that. So that was huge for me. And then just obviously, Jeff, I'm sure you were excited to see them be as physical as they were on both lines of scrimmage.
Yeah, they just dominated. I mean, it's not very often you see a game like that where there's just that level of domination, but the reality is it's a week-to-week league. Just like after the Texans game when Trevor would say we got to flush it and move on. Yeah. You got to flush that game, and we can talk about it all we want. I mean,
we have to.
It's what we get to do, right? But I mean, I think in that locker room though, you have to move on. You can't sit there, patting yourself on the back and saying, "Hey, that's a great job too, man, by you," and all. And no, look, the Arizona Cardinals don't care that you dominated that game against the Chargers. They don't care. They don't. And they're trying to get back on the right side of things themselves. And so it's a challenge. That's why they always say that this game is such a week-to-week league. And the great teams are the ones that find a way to put it together on a week-to-week basis. And that's the big challenge for this team here in Jacksonville.
I think it's cool. It kind of looks different every week now, too. I mean, part of that is because of the injuries mounting up at this point. I feel like it's, like 15 people every day at this point.
Right.
I know everybody's dealing with it, but it is pretty long, as much as we've seen from the Jaguars. So kind of, you didn't know what it was going to look like. Your right tackle's not going. Brian Thomas Jr.'s not going. Brenton Strange wasn't able to get back that week, so you didn't know what that was going to look like. And they had a great time blocking on the offensive line, which maybe I didn't know what it was going to look like. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that. We obviously know the run game is great when it gets going, and so that's, for me, that's always going to be the success on the offensive side of the football for this team. They got to run it.
How about the change kind of the distribution of carries? Mm-hmm. I thought that was pretty interesting to see because Bashal Tutin got more carries in that first half than he had gotten all year long. Mm-hmm. So it was definitely a concerted effort to get him more carries. Mm-hmm. And it worked out great just because the way they controlled the tempo of the game, that they were both able to get a lot of carries in that game, both Etienne and Bashal. And I would have been interesting to see how many carries would have Bashal have had if he didn't have that ankle at that one point in the ball game. And then kind of Etienne was kind of pressed more into action because of that. And then LaQuinn Allen Jr. finished the game off, obviously, when the game was in control. But I thought that was a very interesting thing to watch. I mean, you've got Etienne having the career year that he's having, more yards rushing in the game this year than he's ever had in his career. But then there was this, I don't want to say this effort, I don't know if it was conscious or not, but Bashal Tutin got more carries in the first half.
Hot hand, too, right? I mean, run with a hot hand,
no,
maybe?
I get it. I mean, but both of them were hot. It wasn't like you could say that, one guy was getting stuffed. I don't think it was the hot hand so much, but, just interesting. He's a great talent. He's super strong.
I think if you can, execute what their game plan is, they'll give you a chance to do it. They don't feel like they're it doesn't feel like they owe anybody anything, if that makes sense. Like, they're just like, oh, this is our starter, we have to put them out there no matter what. If they have a game plan or they want you to do a certain thing and you're willing to go out there and do it, you get playing time. Like, look at Quentin Morris, like, working his way up from practice squad.
I know, really strong game.
Exactly. Like, so something like that, or even Cole Van Lanen, who, is trying to, if everybody's healthy, maybe he's your extra extra play or your swing guy, but he's playing so well, you don't want to take him off the field at all.
I don't think that he's going to be the extra swing guy anymore.
There you go.
I think,
that's what I mean.
Because, here's the reality. Played left guard 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Played it really well. Thought he did a really good job. Goes to right tackle in place of Anton, thank you, and did a tremendous job. So I think he's, you could make the argument he's one of your best 2 tackles. So the question is when Anton comes back, how do you make it work?
Who's your best 2?
What do you do? Cole Van Lanen's earned the right to play. In my
what would you do, Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff, what would you do?
Tell us if you Coach Lageman, what would you do?
Come on, Jeff.
I would probably move Anton to left tackle, but I don't know if I do that at this point in the season because Anton is a right tackle.
Do you leave him at right and put Cole
I could
at
just
left?
tell you this: Anton and Cole are my starting tackles.
All right.
Wow.
One side or the other.
And the coaching staff can figure out which side is going to be which, but Walker, I think would be a great swing guy. I think he'd be a great swing guy. Play both left or right, but Cole Van Lanen has proved to me he's one of the best tackles.
Time now for the Jaguars defensive coverage of the game presented by GEHA, Government Employees Health Association, benefits for federal employees and retirees. And we take a look at the Cardinals offense, led right now by Jacoby Brissett, who set the NFL single-game completions record last week, 47 of 57 passing. It's 82.5%, 452 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. First player ever with an 80-plus completion percentage and 50 or more attempts in a game. That's unbelievable. And they were trying to fight back, of course, in the game, but unable to do that. And exactly 2 passing touchdowns in each of his 5 starts. So Brissett in for Kyler Murray and leads the NFL. 314 passing yards per game as the starting quarterback in 2025, and Trey McBride is his favorite guy, of course. 6 receiving touchdowns from McBride in 5 games with Brissett as the starting quarterback. He had 5 in 39 games with Murray. So McBride likes Brissett out there too, I'm sure.
You think?
Right.
If there was ever a receiver wanting to lobby for a quarterback, I think a lot of them would lobby for Jacoby Brissett because he's a pocket passer. He's not this, what do they call him? They called him
dual threat.
Well, but they also had like Minnie Mouse, Super Mouse, whatever it was, Mighty Mouse. They used to call him Mighty Mouse.
I figured you'd run into it at some point. Mighty Mouse.
Well, yeah. Just saying that. But here's the thing: as a receiver, I want a guy who's going to throw me the ball.
Yeah.
I don't want a guy who's going to run around. Okay, and then I might get the ball thrown to me, and if I do, it's probably going to be off schedule. I want a quarterback who's going to stand in the pocket and is not going to want to run around and do all these crazy things. I just want the guy that can throw the ball, put it in the playmaker's hands. That's just me. But look, Kyler Murray has been, I think, an exciting player to watch. But when it comes to wide receivers, a guy like him will drive you crazy. Because look at the fact. Trey McBride,
look at the numbers.
The numbers that you just talked about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you think Marvin Harrison Jr. wants to have a Kyler Murray running around, or does he want to have a guy that can be a pocket passer that's going to be on time and
let him go make a play? Yeah.
Ask Michael Wilson, who had 15 for 185 last week, the receiver.
Marvin Harrison Jr. actually has more yards receiving under Kyler Murray than he does with Jacoby Brissett. So he's probably the one guy that might argue that he would rather have Kyler Murray. But in the long run, I guarantee you Marvin Harrison Jr. would rather have a quarterback who's a pocket passer that's going to throw the ball.
Tonight, Jaguars All Access Television. String Sports Brewery in Springfield. Who is the guest player?
One of our running back extraordinaires, Bashal Tootin, is with us, the rookie.
All right.
I know. We don't always get the rookies, so.
I got to find out why he went to Virginia Tech. Why do you go to Virginia Tech?
Just going to hold it against him?
Was the NIL money that good?
Remember, he started at another school and then transferred in
He was
later.
at an HBCU, and I think he got transferred in. So.
That's right.
He was like at Coastal Carolina, some small school in Carolina, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Like A&T or something like that.
Yeah, North Carolina A&T maybe. Yeah.
But go to Virginia, man, not Virginia Tech.
Maybe they didn't call.
Yeah. I mean,
you should have got him on the phone,
Me and him got
Jeff.
to have a little discussion about this. And UVA probably wasn't willing to pay any money on them.
They need more alumni donations is what they need.
Well,
I mean, come on, Logs.
Well, we're just going to have to keep going, grinding it out with them low-paid
here we
players
go.
right now.
Yeah, different tune.
I got my arms just
alligator arms.
I can't justify giving the university money for NIL. I don't. Can't do it.
Virginia's
do
pretty
you
good.
give money to Alabama so that they can pay?
No. Come on. Do I look? Come on. Give me a
I'm
break.
just saying. Would you give money to your alma mater?
No, I had to pay to go, so I'm not. I mean, you had a scholarship, so maybe that's the
It might be different.
That's the thought process. I had to pay for the luxury to go, so that was my contribution.
Okay.
Yeah, Virginia, and you know what? Virginia's pretty good this year too, Logs.
No, they're not pretty good. They're really good right now.
They're not going to make the ACC game, but that's another story.
How's
That's
that?
fine. They're probably not going to make it.
Well, what do you mean? Don't be down on my
just saying.
UVA football team when we're on a high. I mean,
real high.
doesn't happen very often.
It's true.
I enjoy it while it's kind of going on.
It's been a while. Tonight, Bayshore Tootin, String Sports Brewery, 7 o'clock, Fox 30.
Mm-hmm.
See you there.
White Wings?
Of course. I may double down. I may go to 40 tonight.
40?
Yep.
What is the Thursday night game tonight?
That's a good question.
I do not know. Oh, was it Houston?
Is it?
Yeah.
Right? Because CJ Stroud's not playing.
Yes,
Davis
the
Mills.
Bills at the Texans.
Ooh, I'll watch that.
Big game.
Wait, who do we want to win, though?
I don't know.
Davis Mills still at home, I think, right?
Yeah.
We're at this weird point now where I look at the playoffs and I don't because normally you root against
want
everybody in
Buffalo
the
to
division.
win.
We want
Bills-
Buffalo to win?
yeah.
Okay.
Bills
but the
are
Patriots
7.
are going to win. The Buffalo's going to be like the wild card team, too. So
Right. Bills are 7-3, Texans 5-5, right behind the Jags.
You always want, look, you just don't want the Texans to get in the mix with the Jaguars in the division. So
Okay.
And the Bills are going to be good.
All right, we're rooting
Bills
against
are in no matter what, I
Yeah.
think.
I mean, I can always root against the Texans. I'm fine with that information. So.
Can't root for the division team in this situation. Can't do it.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Go Bills.
Kai, thanks.
Let's go Buffalo.
Kai Stevens joining us in studio, as always, on Thursdays. Catch her tonight on Jaguars All Access. Yes.
Buffalo wings are very fitting.
Imagine that.
Maybe
Yeah,
we'll
hey.
switch over.
Wings are very fitting for tonight's game.
Great call.
Where's the game at? In Buffalo?
It's in Houston.
Oh,
It's okay.
they'll be fine.
It's all good. Still, wings are good.
Injury report is out. We'll get that to you when we come back. The Thursday update ahead of this Jaguars-Cardinals matchup. And if you want customized Jags furniture for your home, check out ZipChair.com and browse all customizable options. ZipChair, furniture for fans. 1010XL, 92.5 FM, Jaguars.com, and Jaguars YouTube. Coming up shortly, 5 o'clock, is Jags HQ. This is Jaguars Happy Hour.
This is Jaguar Hall of Famer Tony Boselli telling you about Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and home remodeling company. With over 25 years of trusted experience, Heritage of North Florida has built a reputation for quality, reliability, and craftsmanship. Whether you need a new roof or updating your kitchen or bathroom, trust the pros at Heritage of North Florida to create the perfect place to call home. Mention Jaguars to get $1,500 off your next roof or kitchen remodel when you go to heritagenfl.com. Go Jags.
What's here is a place that generations have trusted to help their kids grow up healthy and strong. What's here are caregivers with knowledge and expertise rivaling any children's hospital in the world. What's here is the only Level 1 pediatric trauma center in our region. What's here is Wolfson Children's Hospital, with the technology, research, and dedication to save and change countless young lives. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium, because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbq.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Black Friday is here, and your local Ford dealer is kicking off the holiday season with great offers. Now's the time to take home the legendary Ford F-150, the truck at the top of everyone's list, or Ford Expedition, an SUV with room for all your passengers and presents. And if you're ready for big holiday thrills, unwrap the Built Wild Bronco SUV. Start your holidays in a new Ford. The Black Friday sales event ends December 1st. See your local Ford dealer today.
Hey, I'm Logan Cook, punter for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Driving distracted or stolen is dangerous for you, and it's dangerous for everyone on the road around you. Ride with Do Not Disturb. That call, text, or social media message can wait. Choose your music before you turn on the ignition. Anytime your eyes are not on the road ahead, you're distracted, so pay attention. But remember, drive high equals DUI. Plan ahead, have a designated driver, keep a clear head to see clear ahead, and let's get everyone home safely.
Is your organization ready to tackle its toughest challenges? For 3 decades, CSI Companies, based in Jacksonville, has been the trusted workforce partner for leading healthcare and technology providers nationwide. Whether finding the right talent for a specific job, advising on a strategic project, or offering seamless managed services, they tailor every solution to fit your needs. CSI brings trusted expertise and a people-first approach to your organization. Get the job done right. Together, we go further. Learn more at CSICompanies.com.
You can just get calls in faster, really, is all it is. Because you got a number on your wristband, and then you read it off to the guys instead of, calls get pretty long in certain situations, so Liam's got to call it. He's got to get the personnel in, you got to call that, you got to call the play, and then if you miss something and he has to call the play again, then you're saying this whole long sentence again, and then you're saying it in the huddle, and then you're breaking it instead of just, hey, wristband 10, and then you go in there, call it to the guys and get out of there. Then you have usually 5 more seconds or so. I mean, it just depends. Maybe not that much sometimes, but that's really all it does.
That's quarterback Trevor Lawrence explaining the wristband. Back on last week and probably moving ahead after a 35-6 win over the Chargers. Welcome back. It is Jaguars Happy Hour from the Hyundai Studios at the Miller Electric Center, 1010XL 92.5 FM. Donate blood and save lives on the Big Red Bus at the annual Tealgate Blood Drive. It's November 22nd at Daly's Place. Blood donors score a free Jags home game ticket. And for more, visit oneblood.org/Jaguars. JP Shadrick, Jeff Lageman, our thanks to Coach Mark Duffner, and of course our thanks to Kainani Stevens, Jaguars reporter, joining us each and every Thursday. Coming up at 5 o'clock, Jags HQ will have James Gladstone and Tony Boselli in studio with us on the Jaguars Radio Network. Time now for the injury report presented by UF Health, the proud healthcare partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The injury report has come down for both teams on Thursday, and it is long. Both teams have a lengthy report. We'll touch on some of the highlights of the Arizona Cardinals since they have so many that are on IR as well that don't count in this list. Kelvin Beachum, the tackle with a groin issue, our former Jaguars tackle, has not practiced either day. Baron Browning, linebacker, concussion, has not practiced either day. DeMercado did not practice. He's pretty much ruled out. Marvin Harrison as well.
What does he have, by the way?
Ankle issue, DeMercado. Marvin Harrison with the appendectomy has not practiced either day. Darius Robinson, defensive tackle, limited both days with a groin issue. Those are just a few of the highlights for the Arizona Cardinals and a long list. Now the Jaguars and some notables here. Yasir Abdullah with a finger injury has not practiced. He's been mainly a special teams contributor, linebacker for the Jaguars, has not practiced either day. Eric Armstead back full today, defensive tackle coming off an illness. Travis and the rest of these players have been limited both days in practice. Travis Etienne Jr. with a shoulder issue. Dennis Gardeck, linebacker, with a chest issue. Anton Harrison, knee and ankle problem. Of course, missed last game. Quadriceps issue for the cornerback Jarian Jones, limited both days. Jordan Lewis, neck injury, trying to come back, a veteran corner. Tight end Hunter Long, hip and knee issues, limited both days. Patrick McCary, the guard, right guard with a knee problem. Wyatt Milam with a knee issue that's been long-term, limited both days. Greg Newsome, limited with the ankle issue. Brenton Strange, the tight end, with a hip problem. Brian Thomas Jr. with an ankle injury. Bashal Tootin with an ankle injury. All those players limited both days. Here's the big one. Trayvon Walker, well, they're all big. Here's a bigger one. Trayvon Walker, defensive end, knee, has not practiced either day this week. Of course, he's coming off the wrist issue he's had most of the season, and now this knee injury popped up last week's game, has not practiced either day. Andrew Wingard with a back problem, the safety, is back to full participation on Thursday. The Trayvon Walker one is certainly could be impactful if he's not available.
Definitely, and the pass rush was much better this past game. And I think a big reason for that is that Josh and Trayvon both played really well. And like we were talking about earlier, there was a lot of four-man rush. There wasn't a whole lot of blitzing or anything of that nature. I think everybody just played better up front, from Josh to Trayvon. Eric Armstead played a strong game. So when you have people that step up and just have better individual efforts, the collective is better as well. So kudos to them. And if Trayvon doesn't go, I thought, in the past they've had Agba kind of just fill in. But Agba was inactive this past game, and B.J. Green and Danny Strigo did a very good job in getting their reps this past game. I think that those younger guys would just step in and take some of those reps along with Smoot if Trayvon cannot go. I would not expect Agba to kind of be that guy, just because I think they're committed to a couple of these young guys, and the way they played, they've earned the right to come back for more.
And Liam Cohen talked about that. You know what? They bided their time. They're undrafted players. They performed well in training camp to make the roster, and then worked on special teams, and they weren't even active for a few games, and then found a role on teams, performed well in that role.
They both play really good special teams, by the way.
And then got a chance on defense and have performed well in those chances, and that's what Liam Cohen said it's all about. I mean, this is why you bring guys like this in. They're young guys. They're hungry. They perform well. You got to reward some of those guys,
and I think they both play well on special teams. I think BJ gives you a little bit more, just because I think he's got a little bit more twitch to him. And boy, what a sack he had! What a shame that he got that taken away. I mean, just come on, man.
I asked him in the locker room today, "Did you get fined?" He's like, "Don't say the F word."
Yeah,
so I haven't seen it come down.
I would
yet,
be surprised if he gets fined at all. But it could have been the game in which they both got their first sacks ever. Strigo's got a half sack. BJ should have had a whole. But I kind of understand why the officials called it, just because they had a perceived, they're like, oh my gosh, he looked like he buried him. Well, he didn't. He was off to the side. He had his head down. But the week before when Trayvon hit Dave Smills, okay, that's the right call. But this one on BJ, I think that should have been a no call.
And we'll see if the veteran defensive lineman high on the salary cap list this year help him out with the fine if it happens to come down. That would be helpful. You wouldn't help him out?
No.
He's an undrafted player. Come on,
you got to let the young players learn.
Oh man, listen to you. Unbelievable.
He's not going to get fined.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not going to get fined on that one.
Okay.
Because there was, if they actually look at it, they may look at it and go, that was pretty good, right? Target area was good. Yeah. Okay, he comes down. He doesn't land with his body weight on him. He's actually off to the side. I mean, there's really
at the right spot with his feet off the ground and kind of.
There's really nothing that you can pinpoint that would be considered a finable offense.
Jaguars at the Cardinals. Cards are struggling. They're 3-7. They're banged up, and this is a game that, you're going to prove if you can handle adversity. They did that last week. Can you handle success as a team around Thanksgiving?
Well, I don't look at it so much as that can you consistently show that you can be that team? That's the challenge, because, look, there's been some games this year where they've been that, and there's been a few games to where they haven't been that. The Rams game, they weren't that. The Seattle game, they weren't necessarily that. The Houston game in the second half, they definitely weren't that. But can you be – because, look, it's not very often, JP, that you're going to dominate a game in all three phases like they did against the Chargers. It's just not going to happen very often. But you want to have the consistency of, lower the penalties, better opportunity, better job of consistently being better on first and second down as a defense, which translates to better success on third down, better pass rush. I mean, all those things you want to see continue on. But, it doesn't have to be at that level. But, give us consistency somewhere in that upper tier.
It'd be nice to see. Certainly in the Jaguars, currently the number 7 seed in the AFC playoff race, looking to head on the road to Arizona this week, and then it's on to Tennessee the week after that before coming back home December 7th against the Indianapolis Colts. Logs, we've got Jags HQ coming up.
Looking forward to it.
The leadership coming
Hey,
in.
look, Boselli said it last week, most important game in franchise history.
He did. He got ripped for it on Monday by Pete, by the way.
Did he?
Yeah. I heard about that in the hallway the other day. We'll see if old Tony has a response for Pete.
He did with you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why did he rip Tony for saying that?
Well,
It's just
it's
the next
Pete.
game.
I don't know. It's Pete.
All right.
We'll see what Tony has to say.
I think that's all I'm good.
We'll find out
We'll
shortly. Coming up, it is Jags HQ. Thanks for listening. It is Jaguars Happy Hour.
Welcome to Jags HQ, presented by Fresh from Florida. JP Shadrick and former Jaguar Jeff Lageman sit down each week with the decision makers of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
We're going to bring you a product that you all can be proud of. With that, game on.
Jags HQ, presented by Fresh from Florida, starts right now.
It is Jags HQ on the Jaguars Radio Network, presented by the University of Florida, #1 university in the U.S. News and World Report's #1 state for education. JP Shadrick with Jeff Lageman, James Gladstone, general manager, and Tony Boselli, EVP, scheduled to join us shortly in studio. We'll have those guys and thoughts of the last week win over the Chargers, and then we'll look ahead, of course, to the Arizona Cardinals this week. Logs, the Jaguars bounced back well, I'd say, after the loss in Houston.
You think?
I don't know if you could bounce back much better, to be honest with you.
No, look, defense, I think, was really at the top of their game, allowing only 135 yards of offense, 42 yards on the ground. And, third down has been kind of a problem for them throughout the year. They were 30th in the league, and in this past game they only allowed basically 25% conversion rate. So a lot of areas that they improved upon, and got some good pressure on the quarterback. Liked it. I loved it, actually. It was fantastic.
EVP Tony Boselli joining us in studio. Good afternoon, Tony.
Apologize.
Where's your cohort at?
No idea.
Is this a finable offense now?
I think we have 2 rules.
Oh.
We both violated one of them.
Yeah.
Right.
So my bad. How we doing today?
Good. Yeah, doing well. We're just kind of looking back a little bit on last week's game and the performance coming off the Houston game, and everything in the building that week getting back on track. And I don't know if they could have gotten back on track any better than they did.
Well, no, I think, listen, you got to give a ton of credit to Liam, the entire staff, our players, the whole building, really. The approach last week after a really tough loss against the Texans, a game that we felt like kind of let right out of our grasp. Give the Texans credit. Man, they played their tails off. And so the question is, and I think this was the challenge to everybody, and this was the message of the head coach, is how are you going to respond? And I love what he said Monday afterwards of that game. Says, we're not going to let this game beat us twice. And because so often in this league you see it snowball on you. And our players received the message and went out there against a really good Los Angeles Chargers football team. And from the first snap to the last snap, I thought we controlled the game. The scoreboard obviously reflected that. But I was super happy for our guys, for our players, our coaches, for the whole building, just the response. And but, that one's in the past. Doesn't mean much now. That
was like an offensive lineman's dream.
Oh, it was great.
47,
47 runs. I mean, you can't beat that. I mean, that's what you want to do as an offensive line. But now, this, you guys know this. It's how you're going to respond this week. And I was kind of giggling. I was talking to JP about this. People were kind of in between, giving me a hard time, making fun of me or whatever about the comment that last week was the most important game in the history of the franchise, which I've said multiple times now.
You've said it all year long.
Every
by
game.
The way. Yeah.
And I say that because I actually, number one, believe it, because nothing matters in this league except
next game up mentality,
because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What we did last week, as great as it was, and we celebrated Sunday night, enjoyed it Monday, But come Monday night, as a staff, back working on the Cardinals.
Flush it.
All day Tuesday, staff working on the Cardinals. Players get some days off, relax, work out, get their bodies ready.
It makes it better, though.
It makes it. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's more enjoyable winning. I mean, obviously, that's why we play this game. That's all that's about. All that matters is what happens on the field. But now this, and people can joke around, and Pete can make fun of.
Prisco was hammering you.
He can hammer me for my, wear the same thing every day, and
are you listening down there?
It's amazing how many people tell me about the Monday Night Show now that I'm not on it. And Austin's doing a great job, by the way.
Yes.
That was a great addition.
He is.
But this is the most important game in the history of the franchise, because all that matters is what happens on Sunday. Because we now have a challenge. We're in late November football, going into December. Mm-hmm. This is where these games determine whether you are playing in January or not. And so we go out, face a team that got blown out, got a tough week, much like we did in the past. We've had to respond.
They've had two tough weeks.
They've had back-to-back weeks against two quality opponents in the Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers, two teams we have played. And so you look at the score, maybe it's easy to say, oh, this is a game. Oh, yeah, you got this one. We got it. The most dangerous words in all of the NFL, all of life. I got this. And
that's a Gus Bradley.
That is an old Gus Bradley.
Right there.
It's something that I believe in. But if you look at this Arizona Cardinal team on tape, and you look at the players and the way they've played, and they've lost some really tight games this year, some games that could have gone either way against good football teams. So it's now on to this is the opportunity, this is the challenge that is in front of us, and we got a tough opponent once again. I mean, this is a team that's playing at a high level on offense in the passing game with Jacoby Brissett. They got one of the best tight ends in all of football. They got a defense that flies around, one of the best safeties in this era in Budda Baker. Got a guy we all know very familiar in Calais Campbell that somehow, some way is still playing elite football, high level at his age. And so the challenges, they got a number of first-round draft picks on the defensive side that can rush the passer. So this is another great challenge, and we will find out again, what are we made of? Because everyone talks about how do you respond after a loss. And that's the focus. I'll never forget, and Jeff, you probably remember this as well. Tom Coughlin, the challenge he would always challenge is not just how you respond off a loss. How do you respond to success? How do you respond when everyone's saying how well you played? Because human nature is to take a deep breath.
Is that why he was such a bear?
He was
when
a pain.
We won. He was like such a bear.
He was a pain
when we won.
He
games.
was a pain, but you learn something from that because I think by nature we all like comfort as humans, a little bit of softness that can creep in there.
He didn't have it in him.
I actually think we all have it. The question is whether do you allow it.
He had it when we went to the playoffs.
Operate. I don't think he ever had it. I think
he had a little of it.
I think all of us, like comfort. We all like good things. We like feeling good. We like when people praise us. We like when things are going our way. The question is can you still find that same hunger, that same drive? Head coach talked about the standard that we've set. He said it at the podium. We've talked about it as an organization. There's a standard. So we got to go meet that, but in front of us is a really good football team.
James Gladstone, general manager, joining us now. Good afternoon, James. Good
afternoon. It seems like you guys been holding it down. Good combo so far.
It's been pretty good.
What's the fine for per minute?
Yeah. Oh gosh, it gets cranked up pretty fast.
He was looking at his watch coming in. I didn't know.
Oh yeah, the notifications come through the watch nowadays.
That's what it happens.
Got to stay up to date.
James, that was Jaguar football last week. Is that Jaguar football moving ahead is the big question.
Yeah, that's certainly been a topic of conversation. That's the standard that has been set at this point in time for us to continue to try to not only match but elevate beyond. And I think it was pretty vivid visual for our fan base to see what a fierce football team we can be. And I know that that's something that we're going to continue to try and tap into, knowing that it's something that anybody that's a supporter is going to be proud to back. And I think that that's hopefully what we continue to put out on the grass, and I know it's certainly top of mind for us. But man, you got to give so much credit to so many individuals, so many collective group efforts in that performance, because it could have been really easy to just back into a corner and lick our wounds, so to speak, from the Texans' finish. But we bounced back in a real way, and certainly proud of our group for doing that.
I thought the start to that game was real important. And was there any kind of, and you guys talk to Liam all the time about this, but usually in the game, you got the opportunity to win the coin toss. Do you defer? Do you take the ball? Sometimes there's a mindset of we want to put this out there first because we feel strongly about the possibility of success, and to put the defense out there the very first drive. I thought it was the way that they made that look good. I thought was great. You get the intentional grounding on the first play. You get a 3 and out. Here you go. What a way to start a game.
Damn right. And a lot of that decision was actually rooted in the placement of the sun at this time of year and controlling some of field direction more so than it was any one side of the ball being on the field first.
Interesting.
And if you think back to it, or even the next time you're in it, in the stadium, you can see exactly what I mean by that and where that sun's pointing, and just how challenging. Tony and I were actually out on the grass today, kind of just tossing the ball up in the air in that direction just to see exactly what it's like for a player's perspective. And it's not easy, is it, Tone?
I dropped the ball.
Wow.
So, I will say that was probably a part of it, but nonetheless, I mean, the defensive front certainly showed up right away and in a big way, and it wasn't perfect in that first quarter. And that's one of the things that, we're going to constantly make sure that we aren't deterred from within real time, knowing that when there is just a minor setback, it's not something that just digs you deeper, but you can come back from and even look better because of when our offense drives down and gets halted there, right? And so while it wasn't perfect, it was still a healthy start to that game, and good that our defense was able to put forth a really strong outing there to kick things off.
So the wristband, does it make that much of a difference? Because a lot of people are talking about it, Trevor wearing the wristband versus not wearing the wristband, and Trevor commented about it and just said it just kind of helps you speed up the process.
Yeah.
Out of all the quarterbacks that you guys have ever been around, this is for you, Tony, as well, how many quarterbacks did wear it versus the ones that didn't wear it?
Yeah, there were, from my experience in LA, it was typically not something that was a part of the operation. It's certainly fitting for some of the longer play calls to be able to operationally not feel like it's something that you truly have to give a lot of mental energy to and can just read off of. So it seemed to work operationally to make it so that, you're not butting up against the shot clock, the play clock, as frequently. But certainly you want to play into your players' strengths, comfortability, in order to operate with as clear of a mind as possible. And, I think that's also a vivid visual of a coaching staff who's willing to modify approaches in order to best suit the skill sets of players, right? That's just, it's not explicit to what, let's call it, concepts they're running, but just another example operationally of adaptation and change, because those are the items that can take good teams to become great teams, or any version of that in real time throughout the course of a season. Love to see that unfold in real time. And I think our fans, whether it's the wristband going on Trevor, or if it's some of our schematic approaches, offense, defense, and special teams, we're not going to remain stagnant, right? We're always going to continue to evolve, and I think that's just one example.
Yeah, I mean, I think
did Mark ever wear a wristband?
I don't think so. Not that I recall.
He wore sweatbands,
but
I don't think
so
he wore.
long ago, I can't remember. But you see all sorts of different guys. Some wear them. I mean, Justin Herbert wears one. I mean, Tom Brady wore one at times. I know that.
I look at it like if I'm taking a test and I can write down all my cheated answers on the inside of my form, why wouldn't I do that?
Well, and I think what it speaks to is this, and James touched on this. Number one, let's also realize we're all getting to know each other still. I mean, this is game 10. We've had game 11 coming up. I applaud both Trevor.
We're not talking about the four of us here.
No.
We're talking about coaches getting to know players,
how they operate,
exactly.
how they're comfortable, and our players getting comfortable with our coaches. And I applaud not only Liam and the staff, but also Trevor. The open communication, the dialogue, being open to continue to evolve, to continue to get better. Because the easy thing is a lot of times is to be prideful or insecure or whatever. It's like, oh, what message does this send out, both for coach and player?
Right.
And the reality is, who cares?
Yeah.
If it's going to make us better. I mean, I think one of the themes that I know James, Liam, and I all talk about a lot and try to live by is we're going to do whatever it takes to get better. If it's incremental, small things that will help us be better, great. If it's big changes that we need to make as individuals, as a leadership group, as an organization, whatever those are, we are here to win football games and to be the best organization in the NFL. Our players want to win football games. Trevor wants to be the best quarterback on the best team, just like every other player. Liam wants to excel as a head coach, be the best. We all want that. And so why would you allow anything to get in the way of that? And if it's better for some of our long plays, obviously everyone knows, Robert Saleh brought it up with San Francisco, we can plays. We look at defenses. We make adjustments. What does that mean? Some of the play calls can be longer.
Oh, there's a lot of verbiage.
A lot of verbiage. Yeah. It's first year in a system. And so as we went through it, we were having some...
You got an example? You guys got an example of the play?
I can't even attempt.
I can't do it.
I can't even. So don't even ask. I hear them, and I'm just like, I would need wristbands on both arms in big print because I can't see anything small. So, it's one of those things that, and I think the result of it also, let's look at it. How many operational pre-snap penalties do we have in the game?
I don't think you had any.
That'd be 0.
Yep. Yeah.
And so, again, applaud Trevor, applaud our coaches, doing whatever it takes to get better, not worried about outside perception or what people might say or think. Who cares? It does not matter.
Just trying to win games.
That's it.
Back in a moment. We'll dig into this matchup coming up, the Jaguars and the Cardinals. By the way, I'm looking at photos of Brunell. No wristband.
Yeah, I didn't think he did.
He had a sweatband on his right wrist.
I will say this, because I do remember the play calls. They were nothing like what I hear us call.
Stretch right.
Seriously, 34 zone box, ready break.
That's it.
That was a run.
Yeah, right.
And so on Fridays, James and I always were by Liam on the field quite a bit, and I listened to him call the plays into Trevor, and I'm like, could not repeat that.
All right, so we got to go. We got to go. We're back in a moment. We'll follow that up in a moment. It's Jags HQ on the Jaguars Radio Network.
It's game on, Jaguars fans, no matter where you might be. From the backyard to the beaches, the Ford F-150 with available Pro Power on board gives you the power of a mobile generator. So as long as you've got a TV and a signal, you don't have to miss another game. Just one more reason why Ford F-Series has been the best-selling truck in America 48 straight years and counting. Ford, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. See your local Ford dealer today.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Jaguars fans, it's time to show up and show out. Get game day ready with fresh gear from Fanatics. Rock your teal and black with the new sideline collection, head-turning headwear, and exclusive drops you won't find anywhere else. Visit any of our 11 convenient locations throughout the stadium and rep your Jags in style. The Jaguars Pro Shop, a Fanatics experience.
The Jaguars bring performance, strength, and passion to every play. And you'll find the same when you bank with EverBank. Open an EverBank Performance Savings account and score serious savings. See what you could earn at everbank.com/Jaguars. EverBank, Advantage You. Member FDIC and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Welcome back. Jags HQ, presented by Fresh from Florida, continues right now.
Welcome back. It is Jags HQ, presented by Fresh from Florida. Ahead of the Jaguars-Cardinals matchup in Week 12, J.P. Shadrick, Jeff Lageman from the Hyundai Studios of the Miller Electric Center, Tony Boselli, James Gladstone joining us as well. The Cardinals 3-7, banged-up football team, backup offensive lineman. They've got a backup quarterback. They're deep in the running back situation right now. It's just kind of what it is for Arizona. Let's start with Brissett, though, guy who's been around this league for a long time. Yeah. And throughout his career, when he's had his opportunities, for the most part, he's protected the football. And he's coming off a game where he set the league record for completions in a game as they were trying to fight back last week. 2 touchdown passes in each of the 5 starts this year. What do you see out of Brissett now this deep into his career in the NFL?
You know, he's altered the trajectory of that offense this season since he's been in since week 6. He's certainly stabilized a lot of the operation. And for a lot of those pass catchers, they've certainly seen an increase in output. You know, coming off the heels of last week, right? Let's just start with the tight end because a lot of stuff runs through McBride. He's one of the best in the league at this stage, and you know he's a real weapon, somebody that you got to make sure you account for each and every snap. And beyond that, they got an ascending player in Wilson, and he certainly stepped up in a big way last week as well. And so I think that those 2 guys in combination with a lot of other factors are certainly going to be something that present problems. And he's been a great orchestrator of just running that offense efficiently and at the same time being explosive through the passing game. Obviously, you mentioned it, just like the Chargers were going through some injuries, in particular at the running back position. Arizona's facing very similar stuff. And I know with Trey Benson, who they've been without for a while, he's got his 21-day practice window open up, so we could be seeing him for the first time in quite some time. But nonetheless, there's certainly no team to look past, in particular on the offensive side of the ball, with Brissett operating as well as he is, as efficiently as he is at this stage of his career.
Jonah Williams, the right tackle who formerly of the Bengals, did not play last week. What's his injury?
You know what?
Shoulder injury.
Yeah, and he didn't practice today either.
Neither day he's practiced.
Yeah, he didn't. It just came out a handful of minutes ago.
And Beecham, who has been around forever,
right?
14 years in the National Football League, actually spent some time here as a Jaguar. Started at right tackle last week. He was on the injury report.
Yep, he hasn't practiced either.
He didn't practice. He hasn't practiced either.
Kind of interesting there of what's going on at right tackle for the Cardinals.
Had a lot going on this year.
But to kind of combat that, you guys have a left end hasn't practiced yet either in Trayvon Walker. How's that situation going?
Yeah, he's progressing. He finished the game on Sunday and obviously showed up in a big way throughout it. You know, his presence isn't something that you can take lightly, right? We've seen how we look without him versus how we look with him, and I think there's a notable difference. His leadership, his experience, it all goes a long way. While at the same time, knowing that last week we had some undrafted college free agent rookies get some ops that they hadn't seen the same volume of snaps and really come through, right? Each of them touching the quarterback and you know, giving some problems to the Chargers. So excited to see their progression, in particular across the front, knowing that they can harass and affect the quarterback in a notable way as well.
I thought BJ had a really nice rush. I mean, I don't know when the penalty was called, which is bad. But the way he, nice little short and corner, power lift the arms up, and just literally run right through the offensive tackle, who he took away all of his strength by lifting the arm up.
Right.
And I don't know what he could have done differently on the sack, but it could have been a game for both to each get their first career sack, you know, even though Strigo got a half. But still, I mean, those guys got a lot of energy.
There's no doubt about it, and I think, you know, they got
young
fresh legs. Yeah, undoubtedly. Now in practice, they're going for both the show
I'm not
team.
Sure how fresh their legs are. They go a lot.
And now they're getting reps with our
It's all right.
defense,
They're
so
young.
they're doubling down.
They have young legs.
Yeah, young legs.
They have young legs.
No question. And, you know, BJ was going full speed today and
he
doing
goes
his part to make it so that you got to protect. And, you know, it's good to see those guys having earned ops through really special teams, now getting a chance to show up on the defensive side of the ball and take advantage of opportunities when they present themselves, because you never know when it's going to pop. And I think that beyond just the two of them, you got a guy like Quentin Morris, who's a veteran, right, who did very similar through special teams, got the op on the offensive side of the ball, shows up in a real way.
Pancakes.
Man.
He played great.
Yeah,
He did. He
takes a
played really
notable
well.
step in that phase and really helped us win that ball game. And I think that those are three great examples of guys doing sort of progressing in the way that you would love for any player to progress from the depths. And I think when their ops presented itself, they made sure to take advantage of them and that they were ready for them.
All right, so you earlier you challenged me about asking you a tough question.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, boy. I can't wait to hear this.
This will be good.
Okay.
This will be rich.
Please make sure it's just not like
Somebody
a
here
math question or something.
Somebody
Get
here
my
record
calculator
now.
out.
2 weeks ago, Cole Van Lannon played left guard, played really well. This past game, he plays right tackle. He plays really well.
Yeah.
What happens when all of a sudden you got everybody healthy and Cole Van Lanen is part of 6 offensive linemen?
You know what? We've operated with 6 offensive linemen on the field quite a lot this season, so
Okay.
I wouldn't think that anything changes on that front. You can
Has
find
he
a
earned
way
a
to get him
starting
on.
job?
Oh, I think very clearly he's performing at a level that is worthy of being on the grass a significant amount of time. Now, every offensive line is going to experience some version of attrition over the course of a season, so 5 is not enough. You got to think beyond that. And I think it was very clear in the way that we approached the offseason that it was going to be something that we prioritized so that we minimized the risk that we would run, knowing that at some point over the course of a season, we were going to have to call on the 6th, 7th, even 8th offensive lineman at some point or another. Because as I think back to really my time in the NFL, Liam got to experience the worst of it with me. Our offense was rarely, if ever, in a position where it couldn't find success. The only time that we really got halted or debilitated was when our offensive line went through a significant volume of injuries, and we didn't have the wave behind the first 5 to truly make it so that we were in a position to continue to operate as we normally would. So that was a big push into this offseason. Certainly jacked to see the performance of Cole over the course of the last 2 weeks, in particular knowing that he's moving from not only one side to the other, but one position to another.
Which is not easy.
Yeah, that is a very extremely unique
Boselli
thing
can only
to
play
do.
one position.
Yeah,
he couldn't play
he's
multiple.
only one.
That's not true.
I asked him about it the other
that's
day.
not true. I played
Pro Bowl. I know you.
He would flip
And
in game.
In college, my first 2 years in college, we played weak and strong
Weak and
tackle.
strong,
I
yeah.
played left and right tackle.
So he has no
during the
tolerance
game.
for
I have
saying, no, this
zero
guy's right
tolerance.
side
Now,
only.
The right left is, I've never understood why it's a
Zero
big deal.
tolerance.
The guard to tackle and back and
That's
forth.
different.
That is a different skill set. It's a different the immediacy of the guys on top of you in the guard.
Yeah, phone booths.
Different than tackle space.
All right, so
Like
let me
both
ask,
have different challenges.
Look, and Cole's got the opportunity to play on an offensive line with one of the best 6th offensive linemen in recent history in Patrick McCary, who is doing that with Baltimore.
That's exactly right.
And is now our right guard, who's coming off of 2 straight weeks of really high-level
really
play.
well.
And so I think you also get the luxury of tapping into that. Now, not any different than Cole. Patrick would find himself starting for 3 weeks at guard, then starting for 3 weeks at tackle, all in the same season, all in the same order. And so I think that experience can also be something that's getting leveraged internally as well.
JP's going to get mad at me for that, so we got to have quick answers here real quick. What's Cole's best position? I mean,
That's a fair question. It's probably more fit to have him answer what he's most comfortable with. I would say he certainly comes off as a very natural tackle. I think that is an easier sort of step in and see no difference in protection, and because he is extremely smart in his leverage. And beyond that, right, you get on the inside and you're dealing with bigger, denser bodies, so you might feel the pains of that. Yeah, but I think either or he's going to find success just because he's such a cerebral, such a sound, smart football player.
Back in a moment. We'll take a look at the Cardinals defense, get our final thoughts ahead of this Jaguars-Cardinals matchup coming up in Week 12. It's Jags HQ on Jaguars Radio.
Can you imagine rising for work before the crack of dawn? Tending to hundreds of acres of land before dusk? Well, that's what happens on 47,000 Florida farms every day. Florida's farmers work hard to grow nutritious food for you and your family. And you can help support them by enjoying delicious Fresh from Florida produce. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo where you shop, or visit freshfromflorida.com to learn more.
Huddle up, MyGate Rewards members. Football is back. Celebrate with the Duval Meal Deal at Gate. Right now, grab a personal pizza and any 20-ounce Coca-Cola soft drink for just $4.99. No matter what combo you choose, this meal's the perfect play. Happening now through January 5th, 2026. See store for details. A deal that's a victory for every fan. Gates got you.
Hey, I'm Logan Cook, punter for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Driving distracted or stolen is dangerous for you, and it's dangerous for everyone on the road around you. Ride with Do Not Disturb. That call, text, or social media message can wait. Choose your music before you turn on the ignition. Anytime your eyes are not on the road ahead, you're distracted, so pay attention. But remember, drive high equals DUI. Plan ahead, have a designated driver, keep a clear head to see clear ahead, and let's get everyone home safely.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is a whole lot more than just wings. Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Swing by Mr. Chubby's and indulge in the biggest and best wings in town, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow sports fans. With plenty of game day specials and locations on the West Side, Fleming Island, Ponte Vedra Beach, and new this season, Everbank Stadium, they're here for all your game day needs. Mr. Chubby's Wings is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Welcome back. Jags HQ, presented by Fresh from Florida, continues right now.
It is Jags HQ. JP Shadrick, Jeff Lageman, Tony Boselli, James Gladstone with us. The Jaguars and the Cardinals coming up week 12, a 4:05 Eastern kickoff time from State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Jags 6-4, Cardinals 3-7. Let's touch on this Cardinals defense. They've given up 40 or more the last couple of weeks. The only team in the league this year to give 40 more points in consecutive games. But they've got some veteran players on this team. Obviously, Calais Campbell, in year 18, 5 sacks, still impacts the game. Yeah. I mean, Liam Cohen called him a game wrecker. He was on that list in the meeting this week, and we've known him here for three seasons he was here. Saw him last year, week 1, with a sack and a TFL in the first 2 plays of the game after being in handcuffs 2 hours earlier. I mean, the guy can still get after it.
Oh,
year
that's
18.
the truth. You know, and as we go back to who this Cardinals team is as a whole, I think last week was the score of that game probably wasn't indicative of the game itself, right? You got 17 penalties that the Cardinals committed, hurt themselves quite a bit.
Franchise record.
That's right. And then you got, an opening kickoff comes back to the 2-yard line. San Fran's able to get into the end zone very fast. You got a chance to go into the end zone and the ball pops out just before getting there. So that gap could have been a lot tighter. And I think they've surely showed throughout the course of the season as a whole to be in really competitive games. So I don't think that these past 2 weeks are truly indicative of who they are as a team and can't be taken lightly. And especially when you got a leader like Calais on that defensive front, right? He makes a notable dent in the play, and he's certainly somebody that you can't allow to get going, because once he does, he's going to wreck shop. The swim move that he's still playing with, the hump move that he's still playing with, man, it is not easy. And he is a large human being that can take over that middle section of a front, right? And so I think we're going to have to do our part to make sure we minimize his impact as much as possible. And as we look behind him, there's some real playmakers and game wreckers that you got to account for as well.
You look at a guy like Josh Sweat next to him.
Yeah.
9 sacks. He's an FSU player. A lot of people around here probably remember him at FSU. He's an athletic, long, uses length very well. He's a guy who can harass the quarterback, get after you. Our tackles are going to have to be on their game.
How do you block him?
You have to have good sets, and you have to make sure be ready for his length. And he's a hand fighter, and you got to be on your P's and Q's. And at the same time, he has enough speed to beat you around the corner. So you got to. It all starts with the set with the guy. These good pass rushers, if you don't set well, he's going to get on an edge, and once he's on your edge, he's really hard to block. Now, if you get good sets, be disciplined in your set process, have a game plan, and you should be okay. But even everything goes perfect. As a tackle, a guy like Josh Sweat with that length, he can make it difficult for you and make it a long day. And then on the back half, we talked about Budda Baker early, or one of the best safeties, and a guy who's involved not just in the pass game but in the run game and affects the run game in a meaningful way. So this is a good defense. They got Walter Nolan, first rounder, really got his first action against the Cowboys a couple weeks ago, showed up immediately on tape. He's a guy who's quick twitch, another edge player. in the interior and get after you. So our guards are going to be, everybody across the front is going to have their hands full. And then they do a lot of different things on defense. They give you different looks in the secondary. And so the mental side of it for Trevor and our receivers being on the same page, communication across the board, is going to be really important. We're
going to have to be ready for some offensively, looking at their defense, ready for some unscouted looks. If
that's right.
They feel like, hey, we've allowed 40 points in back-to-back games, we got to modify some things, right? So can't expect it to look the exact same as it has.
The interesting thing about Budda Baker in his 9th year, 7-time Pro Bowler, it ain't easy to make Pro Bowls in Arizona now. Because, historically they have not been a good football team. So I think that kind of speaks to the nature of the player that he is. Just because if you're making 7 Pro Bowls in 9 years and you're playing for the Arizona Cardinals, you're a really good football player.
Undoubtedly. I think there's no better way to describe him than football player, right? He's not the biggest human on the back end. And, many people were pointing to that as a part of the reason why not to consider him as somebody who could reach the top of the position group in the NFL, but he's certainly shown that not to be something that stands in his way at all. He is as urgent of a player as there is, and he certainly finds a way to create chaos. And you got to account for him as a receiving core in the run game, because you can't allow him to slice in endlessly without being forced to go around somebody.
When I look at Calais and I think of Calais, I think of the term that you've used many times, because this might be the most intangibly rich player in NFL history. Would
have been spot on. There's no doubt. He would have been the visual for intangibly rich. There's no question.
Tony, what's this week's game? The most important game?
Most important game in the history of the franchise.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You caught some heat for that on Monday night.
That's okay. It's true. Truth hurts, brutal facts. People don't like brutal facts.
We all must face them.
Pete Prisco doesn't like brutal facts.
He doesn't like brutal facts. Because guess what? What happened? I heard someone say, what about 1999? Who cares? What does that mean? How's that going to impact our lives? Doesn't mean anything.
Not here.
Next week, doesn't matter. All that matters is the Arizona Cardinals.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Well, it's true.
Yeah.
If only you were holding the mic and could let it go.
Let it go.
Just drop the mic.
Most important game in the history of the franchise, JP. And anyone who has a problem with it, just call JP Shadrick and he'll answer any questions for you.
Certainly will. Ball will be on the tee at 4:05 Eastern on Sunday. James, Tony, appreciate you guys as always.
See ya.
Can't wait.
Back with more. Spiro Ditas, CBS Sports, back-to-back weeks. We'll have the call. We'll hear from him coming up in about 15 minutes. It's Jags HQ on the Jaguars Radio Network.
NFL fans, when it's time to get Jaguars tickets, you can tackle game day with total certainty with Ticketmaster. With 100% verified tickets available all season long, you can count on getting in with ease and spend time focusing on the good stuff. Even if you're headed to the game last minute, you can still score seats. Want to meet up inside the stadium with your crew? Transferring your tickets is an easy handoff. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
Black Friday is here, and your local Ford dealer is kicking off the holiday season with great offers. Now's the time to take home the legendary Ford F-150, the truck at the top of everyone's list, or Ford Expedition, an SUV with room for all your passengers and presents. And if you're ready for big holiday thrills, unwrap the Built Wild Bronco SUV. Start your holidays in a new Ford. The Black Friday sales event ends December 1st. See your local Ford dealer today.
Football and Miller Lite. Duval's greatest pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going well past postgame. Sunday night overtime. Followed by Monday morning pride. Knocking on bar tops for luck. Kicking back on any given Sunday. You never forget the way some things taste. Jags football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Ranked one of the nation's top universities, the University of Florida is on a mission to transform education. UF continues to help grow the economy through research breakthroughs and leadership in AI. And with its nationally recognized career services, UF students and graduates have never been better prepared to make a difference in the world. To learn more about how the University of Florida fuels bold ideas that make an impact around the globe, visit fromflorida.ufl.edu.
Welcome back. Jags HQ, presented by Fresh from Florida, continues right now.
Welcome back. It is Jags HQ. JP Shadrick with Jeff Lageman. We're on the Jaguars Radio Network, presented by the University of Florida, #1 university in the U.S. News and World Report's #1 state for education. Jaguars Cardinals coming up. Our thanks to James Gladstone and Tony Boselli. A lot of offensive line talk going into last week's game. They had 5 guys on the injury report last week, and the right tackle did not play, and you saw the result. Certainly nearly 200 yards on the ground, no sacks of the quarterback, and still a topic this week with the way those guys played up front. Just hearing from Tony and James there, Logs.
Yeah, and look, Cole Van Lanen has been kind of making a name for himself, in the last 2 games because he's played pretty well. And, the question that I asked, where is he at? I mean, because, the reality is that when you got a player who's playing well, you want to find more opportunities for him. But James was right in that there's that 6-man kind of mentality that they have on game day because they're using the offensive lineman as an extra tight end in a lot of different scenarios. This past game, it was Chuma Edoga. Think about the 13-yard touchdown run by ETN, and he was being led by Chuma Edoga and Robert Hainsey on that play. So some opportunities there, but I think that's something to watch as the weeks go forward.
Yeah, we'll see what they do with it. Who knows if it's this week, but moving ahead, we'll see what they have to do. And
that's a good problem to have, by the way.
Oh, come on, yeah.
It's no different than, you look at the tight end group. Hunter Long has been out with a hip and knee. Brenton Strange has been out with the hip, quad, flexor, whatever it is that he's had. And then with that opportunity, offensive linemen have stepped in for that extra tight end spot. But then also Johnny Munt and Quentin Morris have played very well. Quentin Morris, as Tony brought up, James brought up, played an exceptional ball game this past game, and also the part that a lot of people don't recognize, Quentin Morris is a very, very good special teams player. That's how he got on the active roster to begin with, is because he was elevated multiple times because of his special teams, and then they found out that his contribution was so good it had value to be and have him on the active roster. And he's continued to produce in that role. Now he's really also started to show his wares as a tight end.
Plenty more ahead. We'll return with Spiro Ditas of CBS Sports. Second straight week, he'll have the call on the NFL on CBS. This week it's the Jaguars and the Cardinals, and this is Jags HQ on Jaguars Radio.
Floridians, do you know how close you are to freshness? It's not a plane or a ship ride away. It's not across an ocean or over the equator. It's not even a far drive. The peak of freshness is at your grocery store, and it's called Fresh from Florida. Fresh from Florida is local produce grown by farmers right here in our own state, meaning it's always fresh, always in season, and always mouth-wateringly good. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo or ask for it by name where you shop.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is a whole lot more than just wings. Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Swing by Mr. Chubby's and indulge in the biggest and best wings in town, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow sports fans. With plenty of game day specials and locations on the West Side, Fleming Island, Ponte Vedra Beach, and new this season, Everbank Stadium, they're here for all your game day needs. Mr. Chubby's Wings is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
It's here that a tiny newborn has the heart surgery needed to save her life. It's here that a first grader learns to speak clearly and confidently. It's here that a 12-year-old athlete builds the strength to run full speed again. It's here at Wolfson Children's Hospital that answers are found, courage is shown, and odds are beaten every day. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, Let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Welcome back. Jags HQ, presented by Fresh from Florida, continues right now.
Welcome back. JP Shadrick with you. Jeff Lageman coming back shortly. The Jaguars and the Cardinals coming up. The NFL on CBS will have the telecast this Sunday, a 4:05 Eastern kickoff time. Second straight week. Spiro Ditas will have the call with Adam Archuleta and Aditi Kinkhabwala on the sidelines. I caught up with Spiro earlier this week. And he'll actually have 3 straight Jaguar games this week and then next week against the Titans as well. He said last week's win said a lot about what's going on in the Jags organization.
Yeah, I thought it was a significant moment for Liam Cohen and the staff. I thought it was a significant moment for the team because, as you know, when you have an experience, a traumatic experience the way they had the week before against the Texans, that next game is so critical, and I think so often tells you about the character and the makeup of a team. And so to have the performance that they did against the Chargers team, JP, that came in confident, the way that they were playing, they had just knocked off a confident Pittsburgh team the week before. I thought says a lot about the team. I thought it was a big moment for Liam. His message, I think, is clearly resonating. That's always an encouraging sign for a team that's trying to climb the ranks and ascend the way that they are. And I just thought overall, if I'm a Jags fan, really encouraging sign, because I think that truly was a significant psychological hurdle that they cleared on Sunday.
Well, the Jaguars defense, put together an incredible performance against one of the top offenses in football. I guess the question now is that sustainable? Because we've seen some of that this year, but then it's gone away for a while. How do they sustain that moving ahead?
Well, I think when you can affect the quarterback the way that they were able to on Sunday and really defanged an offense that, again, was really starting to play well. I know the Chargers have had O-line issues and protection issues, but Justin Herbert has had a really, all-pro type season, and he just never looked comfortable in that game. And I think when you can do that up front with your front, it masks some issues that you have on the back end. And clearly, Jacksonville right now has some injuries in the secondary in that part of the field that I think is a concern for sure. But if Trayvon Walker, if Josh Hines-Allen can get to the quarterback the way that they did on Sunday, I think it is sustainable. But, we're just going to have to wait and see how they look this week and over the next couple of weeks.
Spiro Ditas, CBS Sports, has the call of the Jaguars and the Cardinals. It's always a fun time to be a fan of Calais Campbell, though. 18th year in the National Football League, 5 sacks, still impacting the game. Last year, the guy's in handcuffs 2 hours before the Jaguars game and then comes out with a sack and a TFL in the first 2 plays. This guy has unlimited petrol in his tank, I think.
And I bet he had a smile on his face later that day when he finished playing that game. He is a physical marvel. I think everyone knows that. A guy at his size to be able to play now into the age of 40 with the punishment that you take at that position is one thing. The other thing that strikes me, and we've had a chance to sit with Calais now multiple times over the last couple of years with all these different stops that he's experienced. And Adam Archuleta brought this up. When you're a veteran player in the NFL who's been a star early on, and as you age and your role is decreased, more often than not by your choice, but the coach's choice because of maybe diminishing skills or just father time, you tend to become a little bitter as a player. And Arch has said that the biggest thing that strikes him, once you get past all the physical stuff, is just his disposition is so amazing. He's still so positive and such a team-oriented guy. He's accepted his lesser role. He's been just like a godsend in every locker room he's been in, whether it be Miami, whether it be now with the Cardinals. And I just think that makes him even more unique with all the other stuff that we marvel at with him, all the physicality and just the sheer size of him as a person. If you sit with him in the same room, that's the only time you can truly appreciate just how large of a man he is and his physical skill set to be able to move the way he does and be so nimble. But he's an incredible guy. I think, you can make a pretty good argument that he should be in the Hall of Fame one day.
Spiro Dinas of the NFL on CBS. A full conversation coming soon on the Jaguars Podcast Network. We'll return with Jeff Lageman ahead of this Jaguars-Cardinals matchup. Back with us after this. It's Jags HQ on the Jaguars Radio Network.
This holiday, Verizon is helping you bundle up incredible gifts and savings. You'll get the latest phone with a new line on My Plan and a brand new smartwatch and tablet. No trade-in needed, even on our lowest price plan. That's 2 gifts for your family and 1 for you. Or 2 for you and 1 for someone else. Or 3 gifts for you and only you. Either way, you save big on 3 amazing gifts at Verizon. All on the best 5G network. Visit Verizon today. Rankings based on Root Metric Truth Score report dated 1/8/2025. Your results may vary. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Additional terms apply.
It's game on, Jaguars fans, no matter where you might be. From the backyard to the beaches, the Ford F-150 with available Pro Power on board gives you the power of a mobile generator. So as long as you've got a TV and a signal, you don't have to miss another game. Just one more reason why Ford F-Series has been the best-selling truck in America 48 straight years and counting. Ford, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. See your local Ford dealer today.
Ranked one of the nation's top universities, the University of Florida is on a mission to transform education. UF continues to help grow the economy through research breakthroughs and leadership in AI. And with its nationally recognized career services, UF students and graduates have never been better prepared to make a difference in the world. To learn more about how the University of Florida fuels bold ideas that make an impact around the globe, visit fromflorida.ufl.edu.
Listen up, Jags fans. Fashion meets football with the latest trends in sports gear. The Jags Pro Shop is bringing the heat with top brands including Fanatics, Nike, New Era, and now Lululemon. That's right, you can now rep your Jags in the premium style and performance of Lululemon gear. Suit up for game day and find the fit that's right for you at the Jags Pro Shop, a Fanatics experience.
Hey, Duval, here's your chance to be face-to-face with the Jags as they take the field on game day. Jump in the shadows and experience the Jaguars like never before. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows for your chance to be part of the action. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C., 18 and older. Entry periods for the sweepstakes are from 8/4/25 to 12/21/25. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank, N.A. member FDIC.
What's here is a place that generations have trusted to help their kids grow up healthy and strong. What's here are caregivers with knowledge and expertise rivaling any children's hospital in the world. What's here is the only Level 1 pediatric trauma center in our region. What's here is Wolfson Children's Hospital with the technology, research, and dedication to save and change countless young lives. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Welcome back. Jags HQ, presented by Fresh from Florida, continues right now.
JP Shadrick and Jeff Lageman back with us. The Jaguars and the Cardinals coming up in Week 12, 4:05 kickoff time this Sunday at State Farm Stadium. A name we haven't really touched on much is wide receiver Jacoby Myers. Last week, Logs with 6 targets, 5 catches, 64 yards. A lot of those in key moments, third downs. And it seems like he's really settling in here in Jacksonville.
Yeah, he definitely is. And the thing that continues to impress me is what James Gladstone described as his superpower when they acquired him, which is catching the football. And during the broadcast, I actually made the comment that it looks like his arms actually got longer as he went across the middle. I mean, because look, there's a lot of guys that they just don't like it in there. You know, the arms get shorter.
We've seen some this year.
A little less committed. And Jacoby's arms, his arms get longer when it gets loud and he gets inside of traffic. And that's impressive, and that's a trait definitely that you want to have. And I think the interesting thing is just kind of jumping ahead, which obviously sometimes you don't like to do, but you give up a 4th and a 6 for him. And so when you do that, there's obviously some intention about maybe trying to get him for the longer term than just as a 1-year rental. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes down.
I talked to him in the locker room today and I asked him, hey, are you settling into this offense? How much of it have you learned it? He's like, wow, it's so late in the season. It's just kind of a week-to-week game plan type of thing for him. It's not, you don't need to know the whole playbook. let's figure out how I can help contribute week to week with this offense.
Well, I think it was interesting that the first game that he played, which was obviously against the Texans, that the play count was right around 40% of the offense. Mm-hmm. They had him basically available in 11 personnel for the entire package. Oh, wow. Well, this past game, they had him available for the entire package of all personnel groupings, I was told, which is playtime percentage went up into the 60-something percent range. Right. Kudos to him. And, if I'm him, I'd love to be able to sign an extension here, which is, stuff for further down the road. But, look, he's from right up the road just outside of Atlanta to a little bit to the east of Atlanta in Lithonia, Georgia. So, why wouldn't you want to try to end up staying close to home?
Especially if he can perform down the stretch here and put up some numbers in a place that could be comfortable for him. It's been so far so good for Jacoby Myers. We're back in a moment. Our final thoughts ahead of the Jaguars Cardinals matchup this Sunday. It's Jags HQ on Jaguars Radio.
Can you imagine rising for work before the crack of dawn? Tending to hundreds of acres of land before dusk? Well, that's what happens on 47,000 Florida farms every day. Florida's farmers work hard to grow nutritious food for you and your family. And you can help support them by enjoying delicious Fresh from Florida produce. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo where you shop or visit freshfromflorida.com to learn more.
Mr. Chubby's Wings is a whole lot more than just wings. Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Swing by Mr. Chubby's and indulge in the biggest and best wings in town, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow sports fans. With plenty of game day specials and locations on the West Side, Fleming Island, Ponte Vedra Beach, and new this season, Everbank Stadium, they're here for all your game day needs. Mr. Chubby's Wings is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Hey sports fans, CSX is delivering big wins. Every day, CSX is on the move, delivering the freight that keeps America on track. From raw materials to finished goods, we connect businesses and communities across the nation with safe, reliable rail transportation. Just like your favorite team, CSX is built on teamwork, precision, and a commitment to excellence. From moving freight efficiently to supporting local economies, CSX is always pulling for progress. CSX, we're pulling for America.
The moment you drop off donations at a North Florida Goodwill, your things start new lives. A donated jersey helps someone suit up for success through education and training. A pair of old cleats helps a job seeker step confidently into new career opportunities. Every donation fuels Goodwill's mission to provide education, training, and career opportunities, removing barriers to employment and building brighter futures across our community. To find your nearest donation center and learn more, visit goodwillnorthfl.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
A bold change. A historic development is underway for the Bold City, and the Jacksonville Jaguars and team partners are a part of it. Introducing First and Forward, a development partner program highlighting the significant contributions made toward the transformative efforts to the city of Jacksonville. Thank you, Belter, Brooks Building Solutions, Jackson Electric Supply, Office Images, Sims Crane, Start Tech, and People's Gas. Championing progress on the field and in the community. The First and Forward program. The First Coast Forward Together. To learn more, visit jaguars.com/forward together.
Hey, I'm Logan Cook, punter for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Driving distracted or stolen is dangerous for you, and it's dangerous for everyone on the road around you. Ride with Do Not Disturb. That call, text, or social media message can wait. Choose your music before you turn on the ignition. Anytime your eyes are not on the road ahead, you're distracted, so pay attention. But remember, drive high equals DUI. Plan ahead, have a designated driver, keep a clear head to see clear ahead, and let's get everyone home safely.
Welcome back. Jags HQ, presented by Fresh from Florida, continues right now.
Final moments of Jags HQ. JP Shadrick, Jeff Lageman, Cardinals, Jaguars coming up. Both teams with long injury reports, but a few notables for for the Jaguars. Limited today. Brenton Strange, second straight day that he has been limited. Missed last week. Window is open. That could move forward as this week goes along. Brian Thomas Jr. limited both days with the ankle injury. Anton Harrison, the right tackle, as well. But Trayvon Walker unable to go in Wednesday or Thursday practice with a knee issue. That would be certainly a hit to this Jags defense. But, boy, if they could get Brenton Strange back with the way the other tight end and the extra linemen have been playing in the run game, look out.
If you get him back and he's the Brenton Strange pre-injury,
yeah.
And that's obviously, the big question is he going to be able to come back and be 100%? And I would think that with a player of his caliber that you don't want to have him come back until he's really ready to contribute in a significant way. So that is something to definitely watch for because if you have Brenton Strange, I think that just adds to what you've kind of established last week against the Chargers. He's such a dominant physical force and also a safety net kind of, so to speak, for Trevor in the passing game. It would be huge to have him back if he's 100%.
Jaguars 6-4, Cardinals 3-7. The Jaguars head out west one more time this season, and they'll do it against Denver later in the year as well. But Mountain Time Zone game against a team they haven't beaten in a long time, trying to get it done this week and maintain that momentum. Logs, have a great week. Jags All Access tonight.
Yes, it is. Bashal Tootin.
Jags running back will be the guest at String Sports Brewery in Springfield here in Jacksonville. For Jeff Lageman, I'm JP Shadrick. Our thanks to Joe Fortunato, David Cho, and Brent Reaver. And thanks to you for listening and watching. It's Jags HQ on the Jaguars Radio Network.